Okay, this is a great story, man, because I couldn't believe it when it was happening. Years ago, I was in a restaurant in New York, and the maitre d' came over. Excuse me, Mr. Hanks. Says, yes. Mr. DiMaggio is having dinner in the hotel tonight. He wondered if you might come by and so that you could meet. And I said, Joe DiMaggio? And he said, yes, he's a regular here. I said, and I leapt up from the table and said, take me to him.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I chatted with Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
From San Francisco. I'm from
Yep.
Oakland. He knew. Said,
Yeah.
oh, you're an Oakland boy. Oh, yes, you're an Oakland boy. And what do you say to Joe DiMaggio? I said, you still have the restaurant. I've eaten in your restaurant. Well, I don't have it anymore, but yes, it is DiMaggio. I said, you lived in the Mission District. Yes. I had lived all over, but yeah, my most recent. I said, you suffered, there was a bit of earthquake damage. Oh, yeah, we had the earthquake damage.
Yes.
And I said, hey, where was Seals Stadium? Because he played for the San Francisco Seals.
Yeah.
And he told me the address. And he said, you can't imagine how big a deal the Pacific Coast League was back in the day. Because that was the first story in the sports pages was, did the Seals beat the Oakland Oaks and were they in Hollywood playing the Stars? Because there was not yet enough radio coverage on the West Coast of the Yankees and the Cubs and the Indians and what have you. So then I asked about his brothers. I said, how long did Dom play for Dom DiMaggio? He said, oh, he was a hell of a ball player. And he said he might have been the best in the family. Joe DiMaggio was saying this.
Wow.
So, wrapping it up, because he was eating alone, by the way. He was just in by himself.
Wow.
So I said, well, it's a Mr. DiMaggio. I said, oh, please call me Joe. I said, oh, I can't. I said, I've gotten a couple of reviews every now and again, and I have to say that when reviewers say, I make it look easy, I often think of what they said about you, that you made playing center field look like it was natural and easy. And he said this to me, Tom, it always looked easy, except in here. And he held his big hands up over his heart. And he said, oh, it looked easy, but it wasn't in here. And I thought, he has just described what it is for me to stand up and say, okay, I'm this guy and I'm going to fall in love or I'm going to do the thing or I'm going to be in the spacecraft or any of this. It's never easy, but the process is an instinctive one. And when you can let go of the self-consciousness of the fallacy of it all. I made a movie called Road to Perdition with Paul Newman.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And it's like, it's like
Paul Newman.
It's like playing catch with Joe DiMaggio.
Right.
And on the very first day, we got together. We got to know Paul was a magnificent man. He was, he was very knowledgeable, very funny, very, self-effacing. But there we all are. And the very first day of shooting was a big Irish wake. And so there was probably 60 extras, and they're all dancing and playing the piano and doing all this kind of stuff. And on the very first day, Paul had to get up and give a toast, as his character. He had to raise a glass of whiskey and, say something. And to say that everybody on the stage was waiting for Paul Newman to deliver his first lines on the first day of a movie. And he did it, and rolling, la 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 da 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 da. And he said, may you be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. He said something like that. And cut. And Paul just froze, and he looked at us all, and he said, you always feel self-conscious that first day, don't you? And everybody laughed. It's like, okay, so if even Paul, has to fight that tendency of this is not a natural thing to do.
Yeah.
And yet if you do it well enough, it looks like it's the easiest thing in the world, and it never is.